Welcome back to Writing a Screenplay. We are on segment number 4, Danger Things. And before we get into that, I want to throw up the outline just to see where we are with page count. I can't stop obsessing over it. We all have these little things that we shouldn't focus on too much, but we can't help ourselves. And for me, it's this page count. So as you can see, we've gone over in just about everything here except for Danger Things, this latest segment in our horror anthology, The Town That Dripped Blood. Danger Things hit within the range that I wanted. It finally happened, 12 to 15 pages, and it is 15 pages. It felt longer. I definitely thought I was going to go over, but it ended up being within that range. So that's good. Hopefully, the others can stay around that. I'm strongly considering cutting the graveyard shift, depending on how long the interview and heartache go. I might cut the graveyard shift. We'll see. We will definitely see. Worst case scenario, I can always go back and add that in. So let's get to Danger Things, which is, of course, a little Stranger Things send up here, a little spoof. Because those kids never call the cops. They go on their plucky little adventures, and it's like, no, that's dangerous. You're gonna get stabbed to death and like raped and killed. What are you doing? And that's kind of what happens here. The danger is very real. So let's go over it. Of course, it starts right where the good boy ends, where Biscuit's trying to see if Luke is okay. Of course, he just got shot by his son. Big domestic abuse, violence thing. Ugly ending to that story. But outside of the house, the next door neighbors step out onto their porch, unsure of what to do about the apparent gunshot they just heard. Jan Dubowski hides behind her husband, Doug. Was that a gunshot? Sounded like it. This is supposed to be a nice neighborhood. I know, hon. I know. Do we call the police? Or is getting involved not the thing to do here? Yeah, probably a good idea to call the cops. Go inside and give him a ring. Um, Meanwhile, he's going down the steps. Where are you going? Someone should see what's going on. They might need our help. Doug, you're an accountant. Go give him a call, Jan. As Doug reaches the bottom step, the garage door opens, and flying out of it on his Huffy bike is their 12-year-old son, Mikey. Okay, so I have him at 12. Okay, um, good to know. Mikey has his Walkman cassette player clipped to his jeans. Due to the music blaring through his headphones, Mikey doesn't hear his parents shouting at him to stop. Mikey, get back here. He doesn't hear his dad's voice. He only hears Loser by Beck playing on his Walkman. Now, they say, every screenwriting book and all the gurus and all that stuff, they'll say don't put licensed stuff in there. They would say don't even put the Walkman in there. Don't put brand stuff in there. This is all, should that be capitalized? I'll have to look that up. I'm going to put that in my notes right now, actually. Walkman, I already have it in there. I already had it in there. That was already a question I had. Good. But they'll say don't do that. You can't get the rights to it. You'll never get the. This is just setting the tone. I don't care about "Loser" by Beck actually playing on his Walkman. I'm trying to set the atmosphere that this is sort of a nostalgia sort of kick here. And if people can't figure that out, honestly, they're not people I really want to work with because they're too stupid. The scrappy boy rides past Biscuit's house, not seeing his neighbor Henry sprint out of the house. See, I have house twice there. That's something that I'll clean up later on. I don't like when the words duplicate like that. Distraught at what he's done. So yeah, Henry's still in there, but we're about to follow Mikey here. Exterior Ambrose house. Moments later, Mikey flies by in his Huffy, his Sammy Sosa baseball card flipping in the tire spoke. Um, like you see, where we're at. You see what we got. Yeah. He reaches in his pocket and takes out his walkie-talkie. Now, at this point, if they can't figure it out, God help him. He flips it on and presses the button. I'm getting a phone call. I think that's. Hmm. Huh. I think that's going to be a. one of those robocalls. So hopefully. Neil, you there? Yeah, where you at, fat kid? Even though the fat joke stings. Yeah, Mikey's gonna take a lot of abuse here by Neil and Gary soon enough. I think we do a very good job establishing that he wants to be accepted. That's a big aspect of this segment, and I think we do a great job with it. And the dynamics between the friends. And he says, "I'm on my way, but were you serious about Wes? Yeah, we need to get him back. All hands on deck, even you. I'm happy to help. I'm almost at Gary's, so move your fat ass." We really go hard at that. I might edit that when we get to rewriting. Um, but it's better to have too much than not enough, especially in a rough draft. Like at least it's like because you could always pull back. Boom, boom, boom. Gary's room day. Mikey sits in the gross teenage room of Gary, the oldest of the group of friends. There are posters of several bikini clad actresses, such as Vanessa Angel from Weird Science and Christina Applegate from Married with Children. Gary has a buzz cut and bad acting, but he's taller with a little muscle mass and carries himself as the one in charge, which is easy because his friends are 3 years his junior. Gary turns on his Sega Genesis while Mikey sits there uncomfortably, really having some fun here with the nostalgia period piece stuff. So let me get this right. You and Wes were out in the woods, and a man in a hood snatched him up. You nailed it. We should do something, Mike. See, Mikey's a good kid. You know, we're gonna see Mikey's cool, um, kind of. Gary gives Neil a who invited him look. What were you guys doing out there? He found one of his uncle's porno mags, and we decided to go out in the woods and look at it. Cause that's always a thing. You know, the teens and preteens, not so much anymore because of the internet, but there's always that porno and porno mags in the woods thing. So I decided to have a little fun with that. Gary genuinely says, "Makes sense." You know, to us that's weird. Like, why would you do that in the woods with the porno mag? But in this world, in this universe, it's like, yeah, that tracks. Gary pauses his Altered Beast video game and turns to his friend and Mikey. That's just a fun little. We're really getting that across. If someone took him, shouldn't we tell someone? Mikey, if you want to be part of this group, I'm going to need you to keep that kind of stupid talk to yourself. Desperate to make friends, Mikey buckles. Right, sorry. Gary's 15-year-old sister, Quinn, walks nearby down the hall, her cell phone to her ear. Nobody's heard from Melanie since. Did she leave with that guy or what? Uh, and then we have some back and forth here. Neil, like, the boys are kind of sweet on her because she's a cute girl. Neil drops his smartest antics and gushes over Quinn. Hi, Quinn, you look very nice today. Which one are you again? Neil, my name is Neil. We talked about Buckaroo Banzai that one time, and you said she sees Mikey's also in Gary's disgusting room. You've got a fat one now, too? I'm Mikey. I'm new. Tell mom and dad I'm going out. I haven't seen mom and dad in like 2 days. Gary looks a bit embarrassed, wishing his sister didn't air out their white trash parenting situation in front of his friends. Just tell them, okay? Whatever, loser. Quinn returns to her phone and Neil immediately drops the nice guy act. Your sister's so hot, I'd eat the corn out of her. Gary throws a duffel bag from his open closet at Neil, stopping his comment short. If Wes is out there, we're gonna need some heavy artillery. That's why we're here. Neil is Neil is awe. Let's let's at least throw an in there, huh? Neil is in awe as Gary reaches into his closet and pulls out his rifle, but not just any rifle. A Daisy Red Ryder BB gun might change that. I don't know. That's some of this could be a bit much. That's fun. Mikey doesn't seem as impressed, but plays along well enough. Super cool. But will that be enough if Wes was taken? I don't know if a pellet gun is going to. Gary aims the gun at Mikey, who immediately puts his hands up to block any incoming shots. Do you want to see if it's enough, tub guts? It's fine. Gary cocks the BB gun. Let's ride. Um, yeah, then we get them from point A to point B. We get them outside the house, through the rural neighborhood. We kind of see transitions of it getting, farther and farther away from suburbia. They get to the forest trail. Neil says it's up here, and they go down a dark path, and eventually they find themselves outside an abandoned cabin. Neil stops his bike near some bushes, 30 yards away from a dilapidated wood cabin. Gary and Mikey stop, and the boys hide behind a fallen tree and overlook the cabin. See, I hate it. I hate it. This is where you guys decided to look at a porno mag? We thought maybe there was some inside, you know. Mikey looks on incredulously. He does not understand this porno mag in the woods thing, but he's not going to rock the boat. But he hit West and dragged him inside the cabin. I don't know about this, guys. Maybe we should. Shh, there he is. Walking out of the cabin is the killer. He's a tall, lanky man with long arms and a black hoodie with blood all over it. He has his hood up so they only see. He has his hood up so they only get quick flashes of the flesh and blood man underneath. He's human. He's not a monster. He doesn't look so tough. Gary lines up a shot. Hang on. What now, Chubbs? He's leaving. Sure enough, the hooded man walks deeper into the forest after grabbing a shovel leaned up against the cabin. Where's he going? Who cares? He left the cabin. Um, we're going to rescue him. Escape from. We're going to. Mm, escape from New York style. That's. I mean, that's just. That's fine. I just don't like to leave that. Mikey is psyched because he gets the reference and can be one of the boys. I love that one. Bruce Campbell is great in that. That's Escape from L.A. and I literally hope you die. Come on, you don't mean that. Gary doesn't take back his claim. Instead, he grabs his rifle and stealthily crouch walks towards the cabin. Neil follows suit, and then Mikey joins them, doing his best to remain low so they don't get caught. The boys sneak up to the grimy window of the cabin, but it's too dirty to really see through. All they can make out is a table and a messy kitchen. I don't see him. I don't see shit. Come on. Gary leads the other two to the padlocked front door. Gary looks around to make sure the hooded man is around before breaking the lock off with a couple of butts from his BB rifle. We just gotta get him inside, and we do. The three boys step inside the cabin and immediately cover their noses. Flies buzz everywhere, but before they can comment on the smell, their attention is shifted to the meat hooks hanging from the rafters. What the hell is going on in here? And where's Wes? They investigate a bit, and it doesn't take too long due to the cabin not being significantly large. There are plastic tubs throughout the dining area and kitchen. Mikey looks too scared to open it. Jesus, just open it. Gary nudges Mikey out of the way and pops the lid off the large plastic tub. Inside are the dismembered limbs and body parts of a dead black woman. Mikey lets out a shriek, but Neil and Gary are more curious than scared. Gnarly. Hey, it's a black. Oh, see, that's not consistent. It's a black lady. Wes could still be alive. Check the other. See, they were like, yeah. Whereas a normal reaction would be like, and terror. But they're still in adventure mode. The three of them open up the other plastic totes. Sure enough, they're all packed up with body parts. Another woman. This one's Asian. Mikey's tub is an older woman, her dismembered head on top of the pile, staring right at him. It's not Wes. Mikey struggles, not puking all over the place, rubbing his belly and walking slowly back to the others. Guys, I don't feel so good. Neil is about to unleash on Mikey, but a creak from the bedroom interrupts him. Wes? The boys sneak up to the bedroom door. Neil slowly opens it while Gary keeps his rifle aimed and ready to fire on whoever is inside. Inside the bedroom, the boys enter to find a teenage girl in her bra and panties tied to the bed. She tries to talk to them through the gag in her mouth, urging them to free her. Neil, Mikey, and even Gary, to an extent, seem a little shy about being in the presence of a half naked girl. The boys do a poor job of trying not to ogle her as they move in to untie her. Once closer, Gary gets a good look at the familiar girl. Melanie? You know her? Neil's tone is a bit jealous. She's my sister's friend. She motions for Mikey to take the gag out of her mouth, which he quickly does. Thank you. Please untie me fast. He's going to come back. When they get her untied, Neil and Gary wrestle a bit over who is going to help her out of the bed. Neither of them get the chance because she jumps up and stands near the door to make sure the hooded man didn't come in during her rescue. Where's Wes? Who? Wes, our friend, little guy, black hair. Melanie tries to find a nice way of putting it, but there's no time for tact. He's dead, boys. He dragged him out earlier, and I haven't seen him since. Neil and Gary share a look that suggests they don't believe her and that this adventure isn't over yet. I heard him say he was going to bury him because he ran out of storage containers. This sick fuck. We have to get out of here. Call the cops. Give me your phone. What phone? Your cell phones. We don't have cell phones. She stammers a bit, unable to find the words to express how insane that is. She looks at Mikey, the only one who seems semi-sane. I just have this. And he takes out his walkie-talkie. Whatever, let's get the hell out of here. No. What? Why? We have to save our friend. He could still be alive. I told you, he's dead. I'm sorry, but it's true now. Wes is just messing with you. Yeah, the kid's a real joker. Neil and Wes don't understand the severity of the situation, but Melanie is done talking. Okay, well, I'm getting the fuck out of here. Wait. Mikey takes his Skechers off and gives them to her. You're going to need this if you're going to be running through the woods. She takes him and gives him a warm smile. Thanks. Outside the abandoned cabin, moments later, she rides off on his bike. Bet you wish you had your shoes now. He's fine. He has those fat hobbit feet. So this is a bit of a comedic cut to, you know, he gives her the shoes because she's going to be doing a lot of running, but she's not going to be doing a lot of running because she stole the shit out of his bike. We have to go get Wes, guys. It sounds like the worst has happened here. I don't think we know you don't think. You should also not talk. Wes is fine. This is what he does. Let's go. Yeah, they go to the burial site here. The hooded man digs a grave, 2 feet deep so far. Next to him on a tarp is the body of a preteen boy. Scoping him out in the distance behind a couple trees are Gary, Neil, and Mikey. She was right. He's digging a grave. And Neil gets all excited and he says, "There he is, there's Wes." And he spots the lifeless body of his friend Wes next to the grave. A fly lands on the dead boy's eye. Why isn't he moving? Gary is in shock as the truth begins to set in. Neil, on the other hand, loses it. "Wes?" Gary reaches out to grab Neil, but it's too late. He walks recklessly towards his deceased friend. "Wes, get up!" The hooded man leaps out of the hole and grabs a knife he has sheathed on his belt. "Damn it, Neil!" Gary cocks his lever action BB rifle and shoots the hooded man in the face. It doesn't stop him in the least. The man instinctively sees if he's bleeding before pulling his hood back. The boys don't recognize Niall, the lanky waiter from Benino's. To them, he's just a scary man with a knife who killed their friend and is now coming for them. So this is for us. This is for the reader. This is for the audience. Like, oh, that's the fucking waiter from the second segment. Holy crap. I did decide to go with Niall as the killer here, just as a fun little tie-in. And then the boys run. Um, Neil heeds his friend's advice and sprints away from Niall. Neil and Niall. Might have to change that. Might have to change that. But in an instant, the tall man pounces on him like a lion. He stabs Neil several times in the stomach in rapid succession. As Neil coughs up blood, Niall cuts the boy's throat. The immediate murder of Neil doesn't give Gary or Mikey much of a head start. Sorry, fat ass. Gary runs off, but Mikey quickly joins him, showing no regard for the abuse of his bare feet are taking. That's an ugly sentence that I will fix. Niall runs after them, quickly closing the distance on them. So we have a little bit of a chase scene here. Mikey spots a sewer manhole cover over there. He uses the BB gun to leverage the manhole cover open. They jump down to the sewer. So they drop down where I used the word corridor about, I don't know, 18 times. Um, Rewrites. Boom, boom, boom. So I try to paint it as a bit of a maze here. They separate a bit. Niall hunts the boys in the sewer. Gary makes turn after turn, afraid of what awaits him behind each corner. Mikey runs wildly, his bare feet splashing in the dirty sewer water. So I'm trying to, one's over here, one's over there, turning left, turning right, what's behind each corner. Kind of like the Shining hallway scene with the boy, with little Danny. Um, Gary makes yet another turn and finds himself face to face with Niall. Niall goes to stab Gary, but the teen hits the killer in the face with his BB rifle. Gives him a little fuck you, because I was having too much blocks of description, so I decided to just throw a throwaway dialogue line in just to give it a little variety. And some white space. This only delays the inevitable as Niall grabs the rifle and slams Gary into the concrete while Niall sheathes his knife, picks up the rifle, and beats Gary to death with it until the boy's face is unrecognizable. Meanwhile, Mikey continues to hustle through the subterranean maze. He turns another corner and sees Niall bashing Gary's face in with the rifle. Niall catches Mikey out of the corner of his eye. He slowly turns his head and the two stare at one another for an uncomfortable amount of time. The standoff comes to an end when Niall charges at Mikey, the chubby preteen. Is he a preteen? I have to get these ages consistent. And hauls ass, turning through corridor after corridor. He's gonna get out of through a drainage runoff, and he runs towards the only structure in sight, Hickok Bridge. Niall emerges from the runoff and stalks Mikey. And here on the bridge, we have this showdown. Mikey runs across it, and he's out of breath, nearing the other side. And just as freedom seems imminent, Niall approaches from Mikey's intended destination. So he runs all across this bridge, and when he gets to the end, the there, and he's like, well, shit. Niall, knife in hand, calmly walks towards Mikey. Mikey puts his hands on his knees. The kid's exhausted and has nothing left. Please, please don't. Mikey cries and falls to his knees as Niall gets closer. I just wanted friends. That's all I wanted. The tall man stands over Mikey. Mikey, waiting for it all to end, is shocked to feel a hand on his shoulder. Niall has his knife sheathed and offers the boy his other hand. The traumatized preteen wipes the tears from his face and takes the killer's hand. Niall rubs Mikey's back tenderly as they walk across the bridge. So they become friends here, and we get a little montage. Niall and Mikey drag Wes, Gary, and Neil from the gravesite back to the cabin. They buy several large plastic storage containers at the hardware store. Niall shows Mikey how to cut bodies apart, starting with the boy's former friends. They load the containers into his truck. Mikey rides shotgun while Niall drives. Niall gives the boy a warm smile and Mikey reciprocates, yet despite the smile on his lips, his eyes show more than a hint of evil. So Mikey has a friend here. It just happens to be this killer. And this is essentially the end of the segment. The Mikey is spared and Niall takes him under his wing. Um, in his truck, on the way to their destination, a Volvo swerves into their lane, cutting them off. Mikey and Niall share a look. This guy is going to die. Niall turns when the Volvo turns, following the man driving. But when their victim turns into the Genetech visitors parking lot, the killer is forced to call off the hunt and continues driving. And that's what leads us in to our next segment, the interview, because this man here in the Volvo is our main character in the interview. So this one really transitions into the next segment, which I love. I like that. I'm having a lot of fun with that. We'll see if it gets hacky and played out. That's something we'll look at eventually. Right now, it's just fun to do, just indulging a bit. So that is Danger Things. It's 15 pages or whatever it needed to be. Yeah, 15 pages. Good. But we did a good job. We finally did it. I like the story. I like Mikey taking the abuse and just wanting to belong. And eventually, he does find a friend in the shape of this killer. So next segment is the interview. Hopefully, I can get that up in a couple days. We'll see. Right now, it's December 26th. Yesterday was Christmas. Merry Christmas. I hope it was good. Happy holidays to you. But I wanted to be done with this project by Christmas. Obviously, that's not the case. So I'm going to try to pick up the pace here a little bit. Um, Even though it's a self-imposed deadline that I've gone past, I still like to stick to it. But we're not too far off. We're at least in the writing phase. We're knocking out at least a segment a week. So by the end of January, we'll definitely be done. But yeah, I think doing it this way with the web series thing, that definitely kind of slowed me down a bit because I'm always firing this up and waiting to you know do it that way, which is fine. It's fun. So the interview is next, then Heartache, Graveyard Shift, Hidden Light, Home Sweet Home. So we still got a handful of segments here, but that's gonna do it for this episode. Danger Things. Let me know what you think below. Um, and more segments are coming, and I will talk to you later.